Yeah, hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. This is Mudita Bansal, and on behalf of TCS iON, I welcome you all to this Jobinar, which is, of course, created for all of you. And for those who've been joining the TCS iON Jobinars, would definitely know who we are, why we are doing this. But for any new ones, would like to tell you that we started with this initiative last year with a purpose to reach out to you all, to be able to talk to you about what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the job world. And why we have named it as a jobinar is, of course, it's webinars, but with an intent to make you understand the job opportunities in various key streams in India. So every second and fourth Thursday of the month, we hold such jobinars, and we hope that we have been able to add some value to your in your search for a bright and rewarding career. Now, as far as today's topic goes, the world of data science, we bring it to you here to help you understand how data science is shaping the industries, various industries, how it is creating limitless opportunities. So, all of you students who are passionate about shaping the future with technology, who are who might often wonder what is next for me, what should I do, how can I prepare for the future. We understand your aspirations and desire to build a career, and that is why this is not just a webinar, jobinar. It's going to be very exciting and impactful discussion for you, which you can utilize to make certain key decisions of your life. So together today, let us explore the incredible potential of the data science field, the existing career paths it offers, and how TCS iON programs are crafted to equip you with the skills and knowledge to embark on this journey in the world of data science. Let us welcome our speaker for today, Dr. Himdeep Walia. Dr. Himdeep has been working in the higher education domain for almost 2 decades now. Currently, she's working with TCS as a subject matter expert for higher education learning programs, and she has the end-to-end ownership of all the learning products in TCS iON in the AI and ML domain. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Walia.
Thank you so much, Mudita. Thank you for having me.
So, students, audience, as you know, we have always wanted to interact with you through these sessions. So please keep asking questions throughout the session. You can write them in the chat and we will pick them alongside. We will keep asking those questions to the speaker, Dr. Walia. And also, so Dr. Walia, we've been hearing a lot of buzz about data, about AI and ML, and we have the students from all education domains here, IT primarily, as we saw, but we have about 20% from non-IT as well. So I'm sure students would be from computer science engineering, non-computer science engineering branches, completely non-engineering education domains. All of them have gathered here to understand how data is shaping the industries across the world today. So over to you. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation for today, and looking forward to what you're going to let us know about, the understanding of data to open up the new career opportunities for the audience today.
Thank you so much, Mudita, and the entire team for inviting me for this jobinar. So can I share my screen and present?
Sure, please.
Thanks. Let me know if it's on full screen mode.
Yes, it is. We can see it.
Okay, great. So, hi everyone. I hope you can see me. Well, you all knew that we are here to talk about data science. This interesting thing about data science is that it's not a singular entity. So it combines, or it stands on 4 strong pillars, and we'll be talking about them and understand that how this is all connected. We all are connected, right? I hope we understand that. It's been a long time since we have been calling ourselves a global village. We get to communicate with each other. We get to understand what's going on in the different parts of the world. And this all is happening thanks to the fact that technology has become quite instrumental in ensuring that this connectivity is there. So having said that, uh, the fact that all this information is out there and we are sitting on a lot of data, to give you a little perspective of this, Google is actually processing almost 24 petabytes of data every day. On Facebook, 10 million photographs are getting uploaded every hour. On YouTube, almost 1 hour of video is uploaded every second. And on X, formerly known as Twitter, 400 million tweets are getting posted per day. So imagine the amount of data that we as individuals are contributing in generating. So all these things which are getting generated and all this information, you find something that looks interesting, you post it on your social media handles, or if there is some thing that you see which you don't have any reference to, you go and search about it, and it has become quite easier for you to find answers to all these questions that could have boggled you at some point of time. But now it's not there. You have an answer for everything and anything that you might be interested in. Now, all this data is actually very helpful for companies. They are making good use of it. So we have unconsciously been helpful in ensuring that we keep the business going on, because they read this data and then they get to understand their consumers. So it's, all variety of people, starting from somebody who's producing, let's say, safety pins, to somebody who's building aircrafts, somebody who's into services of, let's say, painting your houses, to people who are, in aviation industry or hotel management, serving you as guest. All of them are thriving on this data that we are generating. And they are getting information that what is it that you require as a product, as a service, as a commodity, and understanding their consumer base better, they are providing it. And I'm sure over a period of time, you would have also realized that these things have been happening, the way the products were designed or the way the things were there. I'll give you a small example just to give a little perspective, and let's come a little closer to home, right? And by home, I'm actually taking you to kitchen. So Vim bar is something which is very common. I'm sure almost 99% of the households use that in order to clean their utensils. There's a very thin green film at the bottom of that bar. Now, this was added because of a customer feedback. The fact that this bar gets really, quickly get dissolved into water, and, it gets mushy and it gets diluted very fast. So they wanted something that could ensure that the longevity of the bar is maintained. So this was not something that the research lab came up with, but it was a feedback that came from the customer, and the company heard about it, and that's how they added that thin green plastic layer at the bottom of the bar in order to ensure that the longevity of that bar is maintained. So likewise, there are a lot of examples wherein companies have been listening to what and the consumer is talking about or telling them directly or indirectly, and they have incorporated it. Now, coming to data science. So the fact that we are talking about the complete spectrum, it means that this is not something that only people studying computer science are actually, they would be getting involved into. All the domains out there, all the different type of jobs which are there, all the different type of companies selling out different type of commodities, services, can actually make use of data science, because every company will have their own set of consumers. Their requirement would be different. So we are trying to understand that and understand what is that they want and how to give them the best of the services. Like today, I heard that camphor is something that is usually used in order to ensure that the order is is not there. So I saw this post where a person said that while taking a cab, he noticed that the cab driver had hung this cone of camphor in the rear view mirror, and he just ignored it. But then he realized when he took another cab that the other cab also had the similar cone. So he spoke to them about it, and he came to know that this is of rupees 150, which is easily available on all the different online websites which are there, as well as um, all the different marts which are there. And this has become a huge opportunity for anybody who's interested in opening up or creating that sort of a business. So that's the uh, beauty of the fact that data science can comprehend and look into all those different areas, understand that how consumer is reacting to, find those values which upfront do not make any sense or any correlation, but the technology is capable of finding that correlation between them and then giving out some excellent results and outputs that can help you to create better usage of anything and everything that we have been using. Now, interestingly, this has captured everybody's attention, and we can see that the total market trend has been on a tremendous rise, and the numbers are actually going in billions and trillions, and there is going to be a huge insurge in compared to how much money the companies are going to invest in data analysis and data science to capture this essence and understand what is that the user and customer is looking for, and ensuring that much personalization, that much you can say customization is getting delivered to you. Your Netflix recommendations are actually different from person to person. Even if two friends or two siblings say that our interest is same and we like almost everything alike, you'll see that there is a difference in the recommendation of movies that Netflix gives to one than to another. So that means that the algorithms are so intuitive of your liking and disliking that they are able to pick out the differences that you may not realize yourself, and they are basis on that they are able to cater to you better, and you are going to click onto those movies and shows and you are going to watch them, which means that they are earning their revenue, right? Now let's understand that how this whole world of data science is getting created. So there are some fundamentals that are there and we need to have an understanding of. The first one is your artificial intelligence. So this term actually needs no introduction. Everybody knows about it. The fact that we are trying to create something that behaves just like we do, and the fact that we want the machines to give us responses that humans are capable of giving, and the fact that these responses are minus any errors. So this is exactly what artificial intelligence is supposed to be doing. Now, how do we get it to do it? That's where your machine learning comes into picture. Now, when you have to train something, there are two ways. One, that you are aware of the problem, and when in mathematics, any new concept is getting taught to you, the teacher is going to explain it to you, and then they are going to solve 2-3 questions in front of you, telling them that these are the steps, follow it, and you do that. And once you tell the teacher that you are confident that how this is supposed to be done, they'll give you a new problem and they'll ask you to solve it. And the solution that you are going to get and the solution which they know, they're going to compare it. If it is same, it means that you have understood how you have to solve it. If not, it means that rework needs to be done. So this is one set of problems that machine learning engages with, or machine learning teaches you to deal with. The second is that you have absolutely no idea about how you are supposed to be working, or you don't understand the data which is there, and you're just trying out in the darkness and seeing that, whether these things are going to work together or not, or they are going to fix or not. So uh, because of some prior knowledge that you have, or the past experience that you have, you try to put together certain things, and basis on that you move forward. And if you start getting results, it means that your initial uh, collection of that data, or your initial assumption was correct, and you are good to go. And there are going to be chances when that is not going to happen. So that's okay, which means that you have to reconfigure it. So this is what your machine learning does. Now, when you are working with huge amount of data, then you need little bit more sophisticated algorithms. So that's when your deep learning comes into picture. In machine learning, the inputs are usually limited. So you can go from 2, 3 to maximum 5, 10. But if I have hundreds of inputs, and and I'm not even sure that of all those 100 inputs which are there, which are of primary importance and which are of secondary importance, everything might not be equally responsible for getting me the output. So in that case, I have to assign certain weight, or certain level of importance to all of them, right? So this is what your deep learning is capable of doing. And your neural networks, that is what the deep learning is all about, is going to assign certain uh, weights with respect to these inputs which are there, and basis on that it will try to see if it gets the output. Again, there is a possibility that your initial assumptions are not correct and you have to rework it. That's okay, and that's how you also learn, and that's how you're teaching the machines also to learn. Now let me get a little more into taking certain examples to explain, so that these concepts become more easy for you. So for machine learning, let's say that you have uh, so I read this article wherein this person mentioned that the person is colorblind, right? So what happened was that a friend of them gave them a box of M&Ms. So M&Ms is what our Cadbury's gems is. So this person was obviously in a Western country, perhaps from USA. And so M&Ms are very popular, and I'm sure most of us must have heard of it. So M&Ms, just like gems, Cadbury gems, are small candies, chocolate candies that are color coated, sorry. So this color blind person was given this box, and the friend said, okay, fine, can you segregate them? So this person who was not able to see colors was only able to see different variations of grays, and basis on that, the person actually segregated it. So out of those 100 M&Ms that this girl had, she was able to put together correctly with the accuracy of somewhere around 70%. So 30% were wrongly placed and 70% were grouped together. The same colors were grouped together. So this is what your trial and error is all about when we are even talking about how you are making your machines learn, right? Okay, now coming to the practical applications of this place. The fact that this is not standalone to one domain, and we can find inspiration and use this technology in all the different areas. Some of the examples are there in front of you on the screen. So you have your autonomous vehicles, you have healthcare diagnostics, you have personalized recommendation, you have industrialization automation where we are making use of. We humans by nature are quite lazy. Believe it or not, that's for fact. Research tells us, and we ourselves also see anything that can make our life easy, something that we would love to adapt to. We all know the situation that goes on roads. If you are driving, I'm hoping most of you would be. if you are plus 18. Uh, so you understand the state of roads. We have a huge population. The infrastructure is evolving, but it's always one step behind the number of vehicles that we have. And you see the hustle and bustle, and the nervousness is always there that, you should be okay. The person next to you should also be okay. And things go well. Now, instead of you, if you're giving the vehicle the power to drive themselves, and hoping the fact that because it's a machine, the chances of collisions are going to be absolutely zero, is what we all are dreaming of. Now, having said that, can you imagine or can you think of what all different things will get into it? The fact that this, the route. So from your, let's say, home, you have to go to your college or your institution or to a friend's place. So you know the route. Similarly, your car should also know the route. So maybe there's a GPS and you give the start location and the end location and it's able to track it. Then when it is going, it should be able to understand the traffic rules. What does the signals mean? In case it has to turn left and right, what would be the right indicator? And before turning, it has to make sure that no other vehicle is coming. What would be the right turns? Everything. And then this is going to be something which is evolving. It's not that from your place to your friend's place, there is going to be absolutely no traffic and without any you can say obstruction, you can reach there. And then apart from vehicles, there could be people running on the road, there could be animals, there could be an accident somewhere. Because of that, you have to reroute it. So all those things your car should be capable of handling and taking decisions of. Next come your healthcare diagnostics. Now, even before we started talking about AI and data science and all those things, we were already developing a lot of expert systems. So, the fact that there has been a shortage of doctors since the beginning, and especially good doctors. So, we were always thinking of somehow putting together their intelligence into a machine so that even if they cannot reach those places or those people, their knowledge, through their knowledge, we are able to help those set of people living in those set of areas. So we have been building expert systems since 1980s. Having said that, now, thanks to the technology, we are at a very early age, we are able to diagnose that what is something that the person might be able to have in the future as well, and how corrective measures can be taken in order to ensure that they don't get into that sort of a situation. So, a lot of test goes on where are you go through those series of tests, and they tell that what should be your exercise routine or what should be your dietary planning, how you should be taking care of yourself in order to ensure that you live a healthy life. Next is personalized recommendation. Frankly, we have been talking about this a lot. The fact that we all are living in that, be it anything that you find on Amazon, and then the list of recommendations, it says, you must have seen those pages or those bits in the bottom which says that people who bought this also bought that. And there's a whole list of recommendation which is there. You go to Spotify, you go to Netflix, you go to Hotstar, all the recommendations are there for you to listen, and they tell you every time that this is what is trending, and basis on the previous searches or the previous things that you have gone through, we are confident that you would be liking this. Next important thing that has come is industrial automation. Now, a lot gets built in factories, and this line where all the parts of a product gets assembled, a lot of this is getting automated now. which is ensuring that the fitting of those products is correct, their alignment is correct. There is absolutely 1% of possibility of having any error. If you look at some of the top brands of automobiles that we have, they are making use of this automation in order to ensure that the complete product is produced in a way that it doesn't have any flaws with respect to the usage of it. Now, as and how we are looking into this, we have realized that the usage of your of these products that we are having in data science and everything, the fact remains that we are able to acquire information that can help us in improving what all currently infrastructure that we have. Along with that, we are also able to bring together different entities who may not be directly working with each other, but basis on this knowledge and understanding, they are able to collaborate and they are able to give you results which is there. So there's this one example. So there's this a company that's very famous for producing agriculture equipment, which is John Deere. So they produce tractors, they all those machinery that is required to cut through the crops and even to sow seeds and everything. So and during their data analysis, they realized that the crop from a particular company which was selling these grains that the farmers were sowing was comparatively better as compared to, the length of it was comparatively bigger as compared to the other ones. So they used this data and they collaborated with this company that was selling the seeds, and they came up with offers that, in case you are buying this, we will give you this much discount on our products. So two companies which were not going to work together because of this data, they came together, because with that length that the crop was getting, their machines were producing better results as compared to crops with the lesser height that was there. So this is how we are making use of it. Now, when we look into this, the different aspect of our data that we have to put together and streamline it, there are certain steps that goes in that. And this is exactly what you learn when you are studying data science. The first and the foremost is your data collection. Now, there are different ways, there are different entities through which you can collect data. So if any of you have been in research, you know that you give out questionnaires for the people to fill in, and you capture the information from there. You have seen a lot of online service also that comes, even if you're watching something, they share online service with you and you fill up. The problem with data collection from all these different, and we call this primary research. And then there's another way of collecting data, and that is called secondary research, which is that all this information is already there on the internet. You scout through it. It's not in the format that you are looking for, but you know exactly what you are looking for. So you put together the things from searching from these areas into your Excel and you work with that. The problem with secondary search is because it's not first hand, so there might be some values that you have taken from these sources which are not correct, or maybe something which is increased or decreased. But then again, there is problem with your primary research as well. The fact that the questionnaires or the survey forms that you have shared with the people to fill, they might not be in a mood to fill, and they have filled up with answers that are not what they actually feel. So, if somebody hands you a survey, if you are in a good mood, everything is excellent. If you're in a bad mood, everything is bad. That's how we do it 90% of the time. So there will be these loopholes which are there. So the next step, which is data processing, this is where you are supposed to look into this data and understand that all those gaps which are there, and then you can apply certain techniques in order to handle it, to see that how these gaps can be filled. Can I discard this entry altogether, or can this be filled with dummy data and still be okay to use? So you understand the data, you understand the problem statement, and basis on that you apply these techniques and try to fill up those gaps. And if it is in a very, very bad state, then perhaps you'll have to go back to the first step. Next comes the data storage. So this is where the cloud storage comes into the picture. I cannot have a server that can store all the data that I'm collecting for my project, right? I have to outsource this. This is where you are making use of cloud services. The fact that it also ensures that the data is accessible by a lot of different people, obviously the ones who are authorized, and they can make use of it and do their experimentation and find results for the same. Then comes the interesting part, and that is the analysis, where you are trying to find the correlation between A, B, and C, which normally do not work together, but you realize that there is a connection with them. And again, we have a lot of tools and techniques that help us to do the same. Now, with all this data comes the problem of what? Security. The fact that this data should not go into the hands of people who are not authorized to use it. And we hear a lot of stories about this, right? Which means that every day we are supposed to be ensuring that our cybersecurity laws are properly enforced. Even when you are going online, sharing data, exchanging information, you have to be very sure that which particular website you are doing this with it. Is it authentic enough? We here in TCS, we also keep on getting a lot of phishing mails from our TCS headquarters in order to teach us that, how attentive we are with respect to our cybersecurity. So you need to identify those email IDs and see and understand whether they are authentic or not. And you have a lot of encryption algorithms that you learn, you build, and you ensure that the data gets encrypted before it is being transferred. And this has been, like right from the day one when we were studying computer science and we were talking about networking, security has always been a huge commitment that we have ensured that we take into consideration. Along with this, there are certain other things which comes with AI, and that is ethics. We have to make sure that the technology is to benefit people and not to annoy or irritate or disrupt anybody's life. That I remember a brilliant scientist said that, chemistry did not make nuclear weapons. It's humans that made. So that goes with AI also. So how your data science, your machine learning tools, how you are going to make it do something good for the humankind, and everybody will appreciate the same. Now, let's get little forward and understand that what all different interesting topics are out there that you might find interest in and, might take it up also. So as an extension to your data science, you have edge computing. So this is where you are getting more closer from the very source from where you are procuring the data. So your devices, we are now connected with each other. I am wearing a watch which is connected with my mobile, my laptop. And through that watch, I'm also able to control the lights of my room. Through my mobile, I'm also capable of, checking the grocery items in my refrigerator. And basis of that, I can even place an order to buy groceries from Amazon. So all those things we are able to do, and this information that is getting captured and can be used that comes under your edge computing. Next is quantum. The fact that uh, uh, if like most of you are saying that you are from IT sector, so I'm just taking a bold step here to talk about the fact that you all must have studied data analysis, algorithms and analysis, right? So in algorithms, you must have heard about the NP uh, problems. So those are the ones which have not been able to solve, or the solution of that is very difficult to find. Quantum computing is diving into that direction. A lot of research is going on, and you are able to find the solutions for those problems which previously were thought are unsolvable. Then automation of your machine learning model. So having a machine learning model was one thing, but then automating it so that it carries out the complete process without any human intervention. Next, you have federated learning. That is, you are training your models without any centralized database. So you don't have any data, but you're still trying to ensure that the machine gets trained and you are able to give them results. And one of the most important areas that we have is explainable AI. So remember I was telling you about expert system. The best thing about expert systems was that they were able to answer two type of queries, how and why. So that is exactly what your explainable AI is supposed to be doing, to tell you that if this is the answer you are getting, how you are getting, and exactly why also you are getting that answer, so that you are satisfied that whatever report result is there in your hands is absolutely flawless, which frankly speaking, currently we are not able to, especially if I am using deep learning neural network algorithms. This is a miss which is there. The algorithm is not able to um, really find or really tell you that how it has come to that answer. We know the answer is correct, but that path that it has taken to come to that, it's not able to explain. So that is exactly what explainable AI is supposed to be doing. Now, what is out there for you? We've been talking for good 20-25 minutes now. So what is exactly that this sector is going to in store for you? So uh, as a fresher, you have to understand and bear with the fact that um, you know there has been a tremendous increase in the pay package from when you didn't had the knowledge of this technology to the fact that now when you have it. So jobs like market research analyst is now called as data analysis in marketing field. So something that was initially paying a fresher somewhere between 3 to 6, now because it is data analytics, it has gone to a bracket of 6 to 12 lakhs per annum. Similarly, there were a lot of jobs out there where people were required to enter data. We used to call it data entry clerks, and they were paying, a very nominal CTC of 2 to 4 lakhs. But now that has changed into job description of data engineers, and you are getting into it with somewhere around 4 to 8 lakhs as a fresher. And that goes on for financial analysis, that is now fintech. Statisticians is more of data science engineer or ML specialist. All those things change, and you can see the change in the packages that initially the freshers were getting as compared to now, thanks to the fact that they are learning these technologies and using them in that same work, improving the quality of the work, improving the results, all those things. So these are some of the successful data science implementations which are there. The fact that we are heavily using data science in healthcare predictive analytics. So the fact that we are able to talk to the patient well in advance, tell them that these are the remedial steps that can be taken in order to ensure that their health is in good hands and they are able to take care of it. And then, of course, you have your e-commerce personalization. This has actually increased the sales of these companies by more than 25%. So Uh, and personally, I also feel that it has its impact when it tells me that basis on your choices or basis on the things that you have previously bought, these things are what we think you would like. And I see that almost 60 to 70% of the time I tend to buy them, which means that their algorithm is actually effective. And then we have the smart city traffic optimization. So we are making use of optimizationing the way the traffic is. So it's not uh, there in India, if you're going to take that reference, but it is there. Not all over, but some cities, some pockets, they are making use of it in order to ensure that the traffic is managed well. Now, when you are going to join the workforce, you are going to be in the path of a career scientist. You will not join as a data scientist, sorry, my bad. You'll join in the path of a data scientist. So you won't join, that won't be the first designation of yours, but the path is going to be that. So what exactly is expected from you, as this role of a data scientist that you will eventually draw into? First is strategic decision making. So you should be able to uh, understand and find correlation. So it's going to say that this is connected with you. Then how are you going to draw inferences out of it? So one thing is that the machine is saying, okay, fine, these are connected. But then if these are connected, what does it mean? So for that, we need. Next is your cross-functional collaboration. So I gave you the example of that tractor company collaborating with that seed company. So you being in that position need to understand that how problem which fundamentally seemed was one department's problem actually was some other department's problem. Because of it was happening. So if you are able to find or correlate that sort of a thing, you'll be able to solve a lot of problems which initially were NP problems. uh, then of course this field is evolving. um, it was not same 5 years back, it's not going to be same 5 years in future, which means that you have to continuously learn what all is going on. And everybody is learning. It's not that I'm putting this onus on you. We who are sitting here in front of you, your parents who are in IT industry or in any other industry, we understand that the way the technology is moving, it's as simple as the fact that I remember when I was in my first year of engineering and we got a desktop. And after good 6 7 years, after I had done my engineering and got a laptop, my father started using the desktop. And I could see how he used to move the mouse. He would push it on the mouse pad and then click on that left button for something to open. And now he is sending me and tagging me memes on Instagram and sharing it with me. So if he can learn, who is a senior citizen now, and he is understanding technology and using it likewise, which means that we youngsters, which is you, are also supposed to be doing the same. And because this is increasing, or this is changing so continuously, it's and learning has become more fun because now it's not that you have to go to a special place. The fact that everything is there on your mobile and you can go through the content on your laptops, on your the virtual world is here, and you get to meet your professors, your teachers on a virtual mode, listen to them and then learn. That has made all this learning actually even more easier to grasp. And then of course ethical, this will always be a very sensitive topic, and I always, whenever I'm invited for any such sessions, I'll always say that it's a dialogue of Spider-Man, I think, that with great power comes uh, great sense of responsibility. I think I'm butchering the dialogue, but it goes in that sense. So this is a power that you have, and you are supposed to be using it, with correct ethics in your mind. So the fact that we all studied moral science, I think this is the right time to uh, put forward the fact that what all you learned in moral science when you were in school, you're actually supposed to be applying it also when you are working with technology and creating products, services, commodities for humans in general. Okay. Now, although I was speaking to you, but in a lot of ways, all those prompts which were coming, I could not ignore. And I was going through and reading a lot of things that you guys were saying. So I just wanted to help you understand that, how TCS iron can be instrumental in.
Dr. Himdeep, before that, I'd like to, take up some questions that the audience
Sure,
has
we
been
can do
asking.
that.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected because of the power outage in between, so I'm not sure if you would have waited for me and then you would have moved on. So yeah, I was there until you said with great power comes great responsibility, and exactly at that time my power department ka responsibility came into play. So
Okay.
so
No, I think it would be
see, we
great
have
if we
very
take a break.
yeah, so we have very interesting and very different kinds of questions that we are being asked in this session today. I'll give some examples. So, for example, Bhole Shankar Gupta, he says that I'm aiming to become a data scientist. How to start? Saha says how to start a career in data science. Then this interesting person, Aruna Devi, she says that I'm a PG student and I have learned about AI and ML in my academics. I've done some projects in ML and deep learning also. But how should I improve my skills to get placed in this domain in the IT field? And also to move further and improve my skills. It's a very enthusiastic,
Very relevant and very
yes,
relevant question.
very relevant
Learning
and
from
very
other people.
proactiveness. Yeah, shows her proactiveness.
Very true.
Then, okay, so then there are so many BBA and BCom students who are asking that I have some, knowledge in computer applications, mathematics, and some may not even have those that basic knowledge, but they want to kick off their career and explore a career in data science. So, what is it that you have, say to them? You would want to say to them?
Um, the best way, when even I was pursuing my engineering, I always felt that, and okay, let's take a step back. And when we were in school and we were learning trigonometry or mensuration, every time the question comes, where are we going to use it? Right. So that question I had even when I was doing my engineering, when we used to be given a list of programs that nobody is going to tell me, print a series of Fibonacci series, right? Where am I supposed to be using it, or how will I be using it? I will not get into a job where my manager is going to tell me, okay, him to tell me whether this number is prime or not. And I have to write a code and tell him that no, this number is not prime, or yes, this number is prime. So the implementation part, that's a huge gap. That can only be understood when you are working on a project. When I say project, it means that frankly a problem statement is given to you and you have to start. And this is how industry also works. We are given a problem statement, and we are supposed to be solving it, and then a lot of things get involved into it. What exactly is that problem? First of all, is it treatable? Is it something that you can find a solution for? So let's say I have to build uh, an e-commerce website. I'm taking a very simple example, which I'm hoping that all of us can easily connect to. So let's say that I have to, let's take into consideration that how Amazon only came into picture, right? So he thought that these are the books that are there. And instead of people coming to the bookstore, they can choose the books that they want online, and then they can uh, select it, give the payment, and we will deliver it. So this, but how to do about it? right? So you need to have a place where you're going to store the books. You need to be speaking to all the publishers, and you're supposed to be ensuring that you have the required inventory. So which books are going to be popular? So that is another research that you have to do, so that you are maintaining adequate inventory and not get buying books which are not that popular and buying less books which are very popular. So you have to do that work. Then you have to ensure that how quickly, when somebody that amount that is getting transferred to you, how securely it gets fetched, and the recipient and both you get the confirmation that this transaction has been successful. The delivery people who are going to pick from your storage and deliver it, what is going to be the transaction time between it, all those things. Imagine the detail that will get into it for this simple project that you have thought of. And then the major part is going to be the website. What is going to be the front end? What is going to be the back end? What technology am I going to use? So all those things will start coming into. Now that programming language that you have studied will actually come to use, and you'll understand that how you're supposed to be using. So learning is one thing, implementing it is altogether another. So when you are working on projects, that's when you understand that how this technology will be implemented. So this is a gap which I understand that most of them might be feeling.
Great, great. In fact, there is another relevant part to these questions then. There are so many so many people in the audience like Anisha Kumari, Pareli Shweta, Bittu, Sumitra Manikandan, then a few others also. I can't exactly spot the names, but yeah, a few others also. All of them have asked about internship, opportunities or hands-on opportunities. So, how do they get these hands-on opportunities? Get into these industry projects or hands-on projects, so that it can, help them fetch a better placement and get them some practical experience in the domain.
Okay. So I can talk about what TCS iON is doing, and
Sure,
hopefully that will help
sure.
students in a lot of way. So if I can go back to my slide, there are a couple of data points that I wanted to share with our audience today.
Okay.
The reason why we are even so confident about this, if we are coming and I'm talking about this, that why I have taken up this. So let me just pull it in the, I hope this is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So the TCS advantage that we have. So TCS iON is actually very much synonym with assessment. TCS iON centers are all over the country, and we have been instrumental in conducting a number of examinations, both for public as well as private sectors. After that, we ventured into the TCS internal hiring process as well, and understanding that there was a huge requirement and we wanted to source a lot of people. Instead of company going to different colleges for recruitment, we did the reverse. What we did, we conducted a national qualifier test wherein students from any part of the country can appear to this test, which is conducted in TCS iON centers. And as I mentioned earlier, that TCS iON centers are all over the country. Students could easily access to them, and having access to them, they would come there, give, and then we would invite them for interviews. So while doing that, we have a lot of experience with the placement of these. So you can see the numbers that are there in front of you, and we have placed more than 9,000 engineers. We have placed more than 6,000 non-engineers. Then we even collaborated with more than 4,000 corporates, and because we had all these students who had shown a lot of potentials, so we collaborated with other corporates also, that these are good candidates which can find good positions in their companies as well. So while we were working on it and we were looking into this, there was okay, so just to give you an idea, that these are some of the top organizations that have been hiring from TCS and certification programs. So while we were working on this, this same question which students have been asking, and I'm glad that this is coming from them and not something that we are putting their attention forward to, is the fact that there has been this gap and how it can be bridged. So our understanding was that the best people to know students is actually academia only, because they are the ones who are teaching them, and they know the system, the education system well. They know how the students learn. So we actually went back to academia. So the first one that we went to was IIT Kharagpur, and we spoke to them that how we can collaborate together with you in order to create a program that the students can get a lot of insight into the application aspect of the technology. And the first certification that we came up with was actually hands-on approach to AI for real-world application. So to give a little emphasis on the fact that almost 80% of the content that is getting covered in this 3-month program is basis on hands-on. So the professors and the TCS experts, they actually open up their editors, and they will be coding in front of the students. And they get to understand that what is being, how they are supposed to be programming and how they're supposed to be writing codes. So they start from the very basics, which is your understanding of statistics and Python programming, and then they take you towards the concepts of AI, machine learning, and even they touch up the latest topics in terms of generative AI, LLMs. All those are getting covered. Similarly, we have another program that we have in association with IIT ISM Dhanbad. Now, this is a little longer. So this is a 9-month program wherein the first 6 months is again where they are going to talk about the basics. They'll cover your statistics, then fundamentals that are required to understand what AI ML is. Then they will deep dive into neural networks, and then from the 7th semester onwards, the students will be given an opportunity to choose any one of the 3 specializations. So the 3 specializations that they are offering is NLP, that is natural language processing, then you have computer vision, and then you have data science. So because the students will have had a good foundation of AI ML, even they'll be talking about what these 3 different specializations caters for them. The students can actually choose their options and then decide which specialization they have to do. And the next 3 months, they'll be studying that specific specialization. Then
So
there are series of...
before you move on, Dr. Walia, what is the difference in the two? IIT Kharagpur seems to be a 7,500 rupee program, and the Dhanbad one seems to be a 30,000 rupee program. The difference in the duration is very clear that one is 3.5 months, the other is 9 months. One has a standard, course material. The other has 3 specializations, as you mentioned. But still, what is which kind of student should take what kind of course? And if you can also club this answer with another question that the students have, the people who do not have coding language experience, should they, try their hand at it? Should they register for such any of these 2 courses? The ones who have only non-technical skills, is there something for them here? If you could, elaborate on that.
The best thing about every program that we have worked upon is to cater to the fact that whosoever joins that program, we are understanding the fact that there is a possibility that they might not have a good understanding of these concepts. But having said that, students coming from science background, or the fact that they have taken physics, chemistry when they were in their +2, and the fact that I'm hoping that computers is also something that is now included in K-12 level. It is Mudita actually expected that they should have little understanding of programming. Why I say that, why it becomes difficult if they don't. The fact that if they have gone through that process, they will understand that exactly how they can convert logic into a programming language. That programming language need not be Python. It can be C, it can be C++,
Okay.
Java, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, if they have studied C, and mostly now in schools also Python is going on, so either one of them is fine. But the fact that they do understand that how, for example, if I say that I have to find whether this number is prime or not, so there is a logic behind it for how I can do that. And that logic, that can be a mathematical logic, right? And it is a mathematical logic. How I convert that into a code, if I have that understanding, then actually this would be the right path for them to go. I have to put that across.
Sure, sure.
Second,
But having said that, I think we are still providing some bridge courses along with these.
That is always there. That is there because
Okay.
we obviously don't want to discourage anybody from acquiring skills. I'll give my example. When I did my PhD, I did it on MATLAB. And I have not, when I was in my college or, even during my PhD, I have not studied Python, but then I taught myself because I was already using some other, I've worked in C, I've worked in C++. So I had that knowledge, which then I spent 3 months in teaching myself Python, and I got the hang of it because I knew the logic of how programming works. So we have programs. So, TCS iON has also created certain courses, for example, statistics using R and Python, where we have taken these two important languages, R and Python, and the fact that the basics of entire AI/ML data science structure lies on statistics. So that has been taken, and the implementation of stats in Python language as well as R language is covered in that. So the students will learn from the very basic what R language is. They'll learn to code in R language. They'll learn what Python is. They'll learn to code in Python language. And then they'll be learning how to use or the statistics formulas that we have or algorithms that we have, how to implement those in these languages as well. So it's a very nicely created course, specifically ensuring that students who don't have any background in this area, they can take this up and start their journey in this way.
Sure. Okay. Lovely to know. I think again, before you move ahead, let us ask one question to the audience. Let us bring up the next audience question on Slido, please. And the question is that what are the key aspects that you should look for in a course? That you do look for in a course, what are the key things that you want to have in the course while you're selecting it? And meanwhile, Dr. Valia, if you could also throw some light on how should the students select a course? We've given them a view of these two courses from IIT Kharagpur and Dhanbad, but what are the basic items that they should look for, even if not the TCS ION courses, even if they are comparing to the other courses in the market, then what is it that they should look for in them?
Look, one thing which is content, and these is freely available nowadays. I cannot say otherwise. It's there, out there. But having said that, although the content is there, the reason why, first of all, you don't know that the authenticity of that content. When even I was teaching myself to learn Python. So the first thing that needs to be taken into account is the fact that the people who are bringing that content to you, the credibility of that. So that's the primary reason that when we ventured into this area of learning programs, we wanted to ensure that this is not something that we wanted to compromise with. So that's the very reason that we wanted to contribute, work in collaboration with IITs, understanding that they are one of the most respected, and a lot of research work is being done by the professors who are working there. and they have, hundreds of years of experience. By hundred of years of experience, I don't say that one person, it's the history
Sure.
that goes, and the amount of people that are getting trained under them. So that collaborative number is what I'm trying to express. And a lot of government research projects are also they are working on. So they are in sync with what is going on in the industry in research and development. They're filing patents. They are bringing honors to the country. So they are the ones who are coming forward and taking these lectures. And the fact that these lectures are live, just like this Jobinar, where these people are asking questions, you are going through those questions, you're asking me those questions, and I'm answering in real time. And I'm sure, basis on my answers, they are going to again ask few questions, which again you're going to read out to me. So, that interaction is going on live, which means that even during those live lectures, any doubt or concerns or, hesitation they might have with the topic, they will be able to post and get the answers in the real time, which I think should be one of the key factors in deciding which course to take. Then another thing that needs to be taken into consideration is whether they are getting assignments. Although this is not something that they'll be very happy to listen to, but yes, it's important, because listening is one thing, implementing it and to see are you able to implement it is altogether different. So please see that they are providing you assignments, and they are even going to check it and return it back to you also. That will give you a feedback that yes, have I really understood what is, for which I've paid money, even if it's, 5,000 or 7,000 or 30,000, every penny is worth. So you have to make sure that it is there. If there are quizzes, if there is an industry project associated with it, all those things are always good. But primarily, live sessions from a credible source. Secondly, your assignments. That can be projects or quizzes, whatever. But there should be assignments which are evaluated. That should be a priority.
Sure. Great. So, and in fact, we have a very interesting comment from Pratik Katore. He says technology, content, price, tool, reviews, certificate, and mentor. It's a good list that Pratik has given here for everyone. Thank you so much, Pratik. And it is completely in line with what we've been, messaging.
Working on. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me take up a few other questions. There was an interesting one from Sarvanan Kumar, but interestingly, he wrote two questions with different age that he has mentioned of himself. One, he says that I am 50 years old. In the second one, he says I'm 29 years old. But in both the cases, his question is related to the fact that he's been working in sales, and at this age, will he be able to get into data science as a career, or should he go back to his sales role? So I was thinking, Dr. Valia, if we can tweak, I wanted you to answer a question in a way that every person who's been working in sales or has gained the education in that domain, an MBA in a non-technical domain or something, comes to understand that how they can apply their core sales knowledge with data science. How can they club these two aspects and develop a better career for themselves? And I think this should be the last question. We'll close the session after this.
Okay, so I started my presentation with the fact that we are thriving on data, and who will have the most data? The salespeople, right? They are interacting, and they are actually the primary research group. They have the data firsthand, direct from the consumer, and they understand the real reality of the product, how the consumer is taking it, what is the feedback. Now, data science is actually trying to figure out that things which are not upfront, or something which is not coming across to you directly, but there are certain factors that are indirectly associated with each other, and how they are becoming important factors in deciding whether a product is getting sold properly, or is a hit in the market or it's not. These tools and technologies are going to find out those hidden correlations and tell you the real reason why something is working or something is not. Uh, I remember a friend of mine, she was actually, she has, it was not sales, but it's marketing that she was working in. And 3 years back, she has been started using ML tools in order to create better marketing strategies basis on the data that they were acquiring from the customer. So, after every purchase, there was a feedback document that they would gather from the customer that, you have been using this product for 1 month. So how is it? So they would send that link and, they would get that information. And uh, somehow they were able to find out that it was nothing to do with the product as such. It was the customer care service, which was the major reason that why they were not recommending that product to anybody else to buy. So they were happy with it, but everything means there could be certain issues, there can be a malfunction. So they always wanted a strong support system in terms of the help desk that would help them solve their queries and send the required person quickly in order to cater to that. So they were able to find that information and they were able to work on this. And because they had the use of the tool, so she told me that usually you get this information from one site and so, but now because of the fact that um, all this data from across the centers was getting collected together, when they were generating a report out of it, this became a very strong point that was evident, which was not possible when this data was independently collected in different centers. With a common server and the fact that the whole data was compiled together, they were able to draw that inference and they were able to find the real problem that was not helping with the product. So similarly, these people who are in different domains, different areas, they can ensure or find the real reason why something is working or not working thanks to these tools which are there. So the reason, whether he's 29, that's good enough. Even if he's 50 and he has this keen sense of learning, it's never too late to start something, even if you don't have any background. It's just as a matter of fact that, it should be the right start. You learn from the people who are having a strong understanding of these concepts, because when these people are going to teach you, they are going to make sure that you understand it. The reason why teachers are always respected is the fact that the most difficult topics also, they tend to explain it in a way that it becomes very easy for the learner to get a grasp of. So when you learn something new, do ensure that you find the good teacher that is able to do that for you. And then of course you can start your journey from there. Age doesn't matter.
Great answer. Thank you so much. So, Prabjot Kaur has specially requested us to acknowledge her question and guide accordingly. And her question is interesting enough for me to take up. She says that she wants to learn more about cloud and cybersecurity. And Prabjot, very proudly, I'd like to say that you've already got an invite. You would have already got the invite for the next Jobinar, which is on 23rd. And the topic of that is cybersecurity. So whatever the world of data science Himdweep has covered, and very shortly she's spoken about cybersecurity as well there. We have another expert coming to the next Jobinar on 23rd, 5 to 6 p.m., who's going to talk very much in detail about cybersecurity, ethical hacking, and whatnot. So all those who are interested, please do join us for that session as well. If you would like to re-register, please do that. You will anyway get the invite mails again. And with that, I think we should stop here, Dr. Walia, with an important message that there is no age for learning. There is no restriction to learning. If you have the interest, you can learn coding at the age of 30. You can learn coding at the age of 18 or even 60, as you mentioned about your dad. So, very enthusiastically participate in all the sessions that we do. Take a few learnings and takeaways from those sessions and make good decisions for your career, all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Walia, for being with us today.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you, audience. Please do post your comments on the Jobinar page. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Happy learning, everyone.